I remember when I saw this girl the next day at school, she ended up putting a dog collar on me, and she told me, honestly, like, this will let people know you're mine. And at that moment, I realized that this girl was a total freak. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name's Bubba, and welcome back to another embarrassing, but I gotta say crazy story. So today's story all takes place back in my high school year, and this was actually my grade 12 year. Now, grade 12 for me was a really weird one because I always wanted to focus on school and make sure I get things done, but at the same time, I still wanted that experience of, like, you know, falling in love and I guess having that high school sweetheart to end my high school years with. In a way, I thought it would be like a perfect happily ever after. But sadly, I don't get those. Because I remember in my grade 12 year, I was walking down the school hallway and there was one girl that every guy in my school always tried to tell me to stay away from. Even from the beginning of grade 9 till now, I was 100% not allowing myself to see this girl. And who was that girl? Well, she was a blonde-haired girl that was, well, very, I guess, out of pocket. Like, you know those girls that will literally say anything that comes to their mind and not give a care about what people think? Well, that was basically this girl. So me and all my friends basically made a pact back when we were in grade 9 to never be around this girl. But obviously, as the years go on and high school continues, grade 12 finally comes around. And me, well, I was feeling down bad. Because in my beginning of grade 9, I was pretty, like, simple, I'm not gonna lie. But going through my high school years, I became more of a player and a bigger player than ever. And I thought, honestly, bro, like, why not talk to this girl? Like, she's actually not that bad and she's kind of fine. So I remember I decided to one time hang out with one of the guys that I made the pact with back in grade 9. And I walked up to him and I told him basically how I was interested in maybe asking this girl out. I remember he looks over at me and he's like, Bubba, you don't want to do that, bro. Wait, what? Why not? Well, bro, she's like ran through and she's like crazy. Like, don't you ever hear about like what she's done? What does she do? Bro, this girl's like a freak. Like, she's possessive, she's crazy, and like she won't care about you. She'll only care about what she can do with you. At that moment, it sounded like a good time, which in my mind now, recording this video, I know it's not. But still, in my mind, I was like, honestly, man, like how bad can it be? Okay, bro, whatever you say, but it's your funeral, is what he told me. And I remember he ended up walking away. So at that moment, I kind of got that as like a seal of approval. And I ended up whipping out my phone and following her on IG. Yes, I straight up went to her social medias and decided to make my presence more known to her, I guess you could say in this day and age. But I remember once I followed her, she instantly followed me back and I DM'd her saying, hey, so like, what you doing this weekend? Nothing much. Wait, aren't you Bubba, like the guy who goes to my school? Yeah, I'm at school right now. Are you not here? No, I guess you could say I'm having like a sick day. I'm down to hang out tomorrow if you want. Yeah, that'll be sick. What time? Oh, like we can meet up like before school. Before school? Wait, what do you want to do before school? Oh, like, I don't know, like see who you really are before we even consider seeing each other. At that moment, I realized that this girl liked to make things quick and easy for herself, which to be fair, so do I. So knowing the player that I was, I ended up saying sure. And the next day when finally came around, things got really awkward because I remember I got to school with my car. Once I parked my car, I saw her literally walking in front of my vehicle and she sat on the hood of my car. Now, first off, number one rule to any girls out there, don't sit on our cars, okay? Like, I don't care if I have a ring on it. I don't care if you're my child. Never sit on my car. So I remember I looked at her and I'm like, yo, like, what are you doing? Why are you sitting on my car? What? You got a problem with that? If you're gonna sit on me, you're eventually gonna have to let me sit on your car. At that moment, I looked at her with my eyes wide open and I'm like, oh, okay. And that's when she literally decided to grab me by my shirt and kiss me right on top of my car. This girl was moving things way too quick, but I guess in my mind, like, she already like somewhat knew me as a person. Well, the rumors of me as a person. So she kind of knew I like things ruthless and just straight to the point. But anyways, from there, I remember we stopped and I looked at her. I'm like, okay, well, I guess things are going good. Yeah, after school, here, I'm gonna write down this place. Meet me there. We're gonna have dinner. Oh, okay. Yeah, I could do that. And she ends up kissing me on the cheek and walking away. Now, at this moment, I started kind of to blush because I'm like, damn, like this girl really is straight to the point on things. But at the same time, I'm not gonna lie, I started to worry just a little bit because knowing how persistent and, you know, how a push she had on us kind of made me worried, but not too worried to the point where I cared enough until after school came around. Because I remember after school came and I went to my car and I opened my trunk and I put my backpack inside. And I remember I went straight to my driver's seat. And once I sat down inside of it, I realized that there was a girl right beside me and she looks over at me and says, hey, Bubba, you ready? Oh, wait, what? Oh, wait, how'd you get in my car? It was locked. Oh, don't worry about it. Okay, so basically where we're going to is this place right here. I'm gonna put on my GPS and let's just go straight there. Oh, okay. I thought we were gonna meet there. Did you seriously think I wasn't gonna catch a ride with you? Like, if I'm going to own you, you gotta let me be in your car whenever I want. You should give me like a spare key. At that moment, I started to laugh, but when I looked at this girl's face, she was dead serious. And that's where everything kind of went crazy. Because I remember me and her went to dinner, and the whole time at dinner, she kept asking me really odd questions. Like, for example, she literally asked me in the middle of eating my steak, so like, are you like really that big? At that moment, I choked on my food, and I'm like, wait, What? Yeah, like, you know, I've heard rumors about you. I'm just curious. And no joke, this girl was just straight up ruthless. Okay, like, I can't describe her in any crazier way other than the things she would say really concerned me. But going on from there, I decided to dig into this girl a bit more and get more into her feelings and figure out why she was like this in the first place. And what would you know, the most common answer of why girls are crazy like this was the one reason that most girls are. And if you guys can comment that reason down below, then you guys are smart guessers, because she had daddy issues. And me knowing that Bubba literally means daddy, well, it all makes sense now. During dinner, while she was trauma dumping me on how her dad never liked her and how he ended up basically like, you know, leaving her, she ended up telling me, honestly, like, I just need someone to fill that like hole. And like, I feel like you're that guy. Yeah, I am definitely that guy, is what I responded back to her. And we both chuckled and laughed, and we paid the bill and left dinner. From there, we got inside my car and we ended up driving back to her place because she invited me over. But as I was driving, she kept trying to grab my pants, and like, no joke, like, I just wanted to drive as fast as possible. So I remember literally speeding down the road just to get to her place fast enough to the point where she didn't do anything crazy. And I remember once we finally got to her place, obviously we did the devil's tango. But this is when I realized things went to the worst, because the next day when I woke up, I ended up waking up in her room and we had school to go to. So I literally put on the same clothes as yesterday and drove her to school. When we got to school, I remember some of the boys saw me pulling up and walked over to my car to where I usually park. And when they saw it, this girl came out of my vehicle and I was still wearing the same clothes as yesterday. Well, that's when they all got really upset at me. They all looked at me and said, oh no, bro, no way you stayed at her place last night. Yeah, we ended up going out. Bro, are you kidding me? What about the pact? Well, I mean, like, you know, I don't know, I guess I broke it. You're always the one enforcing the bro code, and now you're just breaking it for some weirdo? At this moment, the girl looked over at what we were talking about, but then she ended up walking away, not caring at all. And that's when all the boys just started to get really annoyed with me. But honestly, I ended up telling them, guys, like, don't worry about it. Things are not going to get any worse. When, I'm not going to lie, it actually did. Because I remember throughout school, she would always spam text me nonstop, and she kept like sending me photos of things that, let's just say, I should not say on the internet. But the fact that she would take these photos in the school bathroom, obviously crazy. And going on from there, no joke, she would always end up stalking me throughout the hallways and follow me throughout the school. And it got to the point where I literally had to walk up to her in the middle of lunch and say, yo, like, I need some space, all right? Like, can you calm down a little bit? Are you breaking up with me? No, I'm not breaking up with you. Why? Okay, well, good, because I got a gift for you. Okay. What'd you get me? At this moment, she ended up pulling out a dog collar out of her backpack, and she ended up putting it around my neck. And she said, here, put this on so people know that I own you. Wait, what? Are you okay, bro? Like, what's wrong with you? Is what I told her. And she said, oh, don't worry. It used to belong to my dead dog. But, you know, since he's not mine anymore and since he's gone, I think it would be perfect around you. At this moment, I knew that this girl definitely had some issues. Major issues. Not only from daddy, but also from her dog, apparently. So I ended up looking at her. I'm like, yo, listen, like, this ain't right. Like, you cannot be doing this to me right now. And that's when she said to me, okay, Bubba, well, choose one or the other. We end things off and break up and I make everyone know that you have a small eggplant, or 2, you wear this collar, be my man's, and no joke, I'll give you the best time tonight. At that moment, basically, she made me choose between my dignity as a man and her. And well, obviously, I chose the one thing I knew I was going to choose, my dignity, because no woman can take away my dignity. And if a woman can take away yours, then fall for more embarrassing stories just like this one. Peace out, guys.